So the first thing I typically do if I'm doing a drop top guitar, a maple top or walnut or whatever, is decide what the best side is. What do I want the guitar body to look like when someone first looks at it? So I mess around with the orientation and try different views until I decide what looks most interesting to me. Sometimes it's obvious, other times I have to fiddle with it until something speaks to me. These acrylic templates from Andrew over at Scarlet Guitars are super nice, and I'll talk a little bit more about them throughout the process. After I figure out what's going to be the front, I mark them, and then I have to square things up so I don't have some goofy gap. You don't want that. You want the seam to be invisible if possible and not rely on stain or finish to cover it up. So I use a variety of flattening and squaring techniques on the cheap because I don't have a joiner and I'm not a wizard with a hand planer, not yet anyhow. So for something like a center glue line or a joint on the guitar's top anyway, I don't want to be going at it with a tool that I'm not good with. So going against a 90-degree perfectly flat surface is one way. I try to knock down the big imperfections one at a time, and then I tape them together to sort of square them together. I also use this method here where I double side tape a sanding belt to the shop floor on a spot that I know is close to perfectly flat as possible. It all works well. Just get creative or spend the money on a joiner. I'll get there, but yeah, in this video, this channel in general is about doing things practically without spending a bunch of money. So I've built some super high quality things on the cheap, and as they say, it's not the motorcycle as much as it is the rider, and that's true. So speaking of true, these are just about perfect now. A little touch up and the seam will be nearly invisible. So you don't want to skimp on any step. You want to use a flat edge and squares and make sure that each step is as close to perfect as possible before moving on to the next step. Otherwise, these little just good enough slips will add up and bite you in the ass later. So here I'm getting ready to glue up the two pieces of the maple top. This is always an adventure because I have Harbor Freight clamps, and not a great setup for this, but I take my time and it always does work out. I'm tracing the template just as a rough glue guide here. It's not necessary, but I like to do it. In a little bit here you'll see my camera sagged on the tripod and I didn't check it, so I sincerely apologize for the piss poor view coming up. You're only seeing half of the project, and I wanted to kick myself in the nuts when I realized it at first, but this is one of my first videos, so please go easy on me. I'm not a professional YouTuber by any means. So again, with the Harbor Freight clamps, I want to lift it up a little bit here, so I put it up on a block so that I have room for the clamps, and I'm using the body blank as a table. There's where you see the off-centered camera view, so again, apologies. So probably not great practice to use the body blank as a table, but it does work for me, and I haven't had any disasters yet. I use a little bit of wax paper like you're seeing here that keeps me from sticking things together that don't belong being stuck together. That off-center thing really bothers me. Anyhow, getting the glue on there. It's going a little bit slower than I had anticipated. And then next up are the clamps. First I secure the panels to the board so they remain flat. Then I join the two pieces of the glue joint together. Some guys do it the other way around, but I found this to work for me. And I'll do a little crossbar across the top. You'll see here in a minute. Just across the center line, and add some weights or whatever I have around the shop to it, to the top, just to sort of reduce the chances of having an unlevel seam, because I have to reduce the overall thickness of the whole top to make up for that. If I get a little bit of a seam there, like an eggshell seam, and that really sucks. So speed this up a little bit here. So here it is, all clamped up. Got my weight on the top. I'll leave it here for a few hours and then come back and check it. So here it is, all glued up. Removing the clamps and wax paper. This part is always exciting to me. Now, you don't have to wait overnight. In a moderate temperatured shop with low humidity, I've found I can handle the glued up piece after just a couple of hours. Enough anyhow to plane off the glue, spillage, and some basic shaping anyhow. It won't come apart. You can't wrench on it for overnight, 24 hours ideally, but for the most part I can start handling it at this point. Now I'm just planing the glue spill out off of the seam a little bit. There's a little bit of shift on the two panels actually. I'm not delighted about that, but it's not terrible. It, again, kind of like an eggshell that I'm leveling out here. I think it'll be fine, and it won't require a lot of work to get it properly flat. Overall, I think at this point I'm happy with it. Alright, so here I'm, well, I actually lost a big chunk of video that I was gonna include here, but I did a rough cut of the whole top just so that it's more manageable in size. And here I'm just cleaning it up a little bit and making sure that it's slightly less than 13 inches wide. I'm deviating from the template a bit at this point. In case I do need to run it through my Craigslist planer. It's a 13-inch planer, and nothing sucks more than getting into a project and realizing that it won't fit in the planer and then having to guess how I know. So basically everything I do is 13 inches wide or less, and I work around what I have. Remember, this channel is all about doing things with what you have available or on a budget. So now I got to make a decision on the body here. I like this side better. I don't know if the camera is showing it, but it's a little bit less obvious that it's three pieces. But I've got this knot here, and I don't want to use that. So the single cut needs to be off to that side, but I have to be careful because this knot goes all the way through, and I want to avoid that for sure. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to measure the center line on here. Very important piece of the overall build, so I'm going to mark where I want to go with it. If you notice here, I'm using the center ruler, got that on Amazon, and I'm making a little V. I don't know if you caught that or not, but it's something I learned in high school woodshop class. You mark a V on the center point instead of a dot or a line, right? And then you align your straight edge on both sides, connect the two V-line center points. The V is way more accurate than a dot or a scribble line or something like that. Try it out. You'll totally get it if you don't already. It's life-changing. And this video alone will be worth watching it just for that tip. You're welcome. Like and subscribe, however that goes. All right, so with the center line marked, I decided where I want this overall thing to go, so I traced it out. Definitely going with a single cut. No turning back now. I'm going to do something in terms of weight relief over here. I'm not sure yet before I glue the maple top on it, so I might have an empty cavity there and put some sort of an F-hole in it on the maple top. You can kind of look into it and wonder if it's all the way hollow. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I don't even remember what I'm talking about here where I'm about to cut it on the bandsaw, but I went ahead and traced the outline of the body so I could get a better look at where that knot is, make sure that it won't, fuck the neck pocket. I'm doing a very rough cut around the edge here. I guess I'm talking about it on the video. It's underneath my voice here, but in any case, I want to make sure that it's a more manageable size to work with. So I'm going to start cutting the thing out. Let me just speed this up a little bit here. And by the way, this is on a 1950s Shopsmith bandsaw. Yeah, again, just cutting it back so they're more manageably sized pieces. Accuracy, precision doesn't really matter at this point. I just have to trim this on both sides a little bit, again, because the maple top won't fit in my planer, and neither would this if I decide to reduce the thickness a bit later on. It's a pretty thick piece of alder. So I'm going through here just, yeah, rough cutting it out. Nothing terribly exciting. We'll just blast our way through this because why not? Came this far, right? Okay, so I have the body and the top rough cut. Again, this edge here will go away because I have to trim it back a little to match the top. I'm going to put the template over the top when I glue it down, and I'll keep the template over the top with double-sided tape and flesh route all around the edges to make sure that it's perfect. You'll see later on. This is a little bit thick, so I might take some of the thickness off of here, and like I mentioned before, I might also before I glue the top down, cut some weight relief up here, maybe down here, and I might put some F-holes. I can't do it right here though because the control cavity needs to be routed there. Alright, so I've got the neck pocket basically marked, but not the full width of it yet, so what I need to do is align the center line. Again, these templates come in with the center line etched in there, so you can get a general idea of where the neck is going to be. Actually, I want to go for specific. I'm just drawing it on here, so when I route it out, I'll use the template. Right now, I'm just looking to see how close I am with my super handy center ruler. Keep things symmetrical. You don't want to be just good enough. I mean, I'm telling you, you want to be precise. The center line is very important, and the placement of the neck depends on it, where the strings and the bridge will go. All the pickups, they need to be perfectly aligned with the strings over the poles, so it's all about the center line. You don't want to f that part up. And I think we're good. So now I just need to decide what and where I want to go with any kind of weight relief here. And I think I'm done with this video, and I'll keep it going in the next one. Follow along, see where this thing goes, yeah? I promise it'll be interesting and likely loaded with mistakes that you'll get to watch me correct, and I will not hide anything from it. Thank you.